To those of you joining us today, thank you for watching the Woburn Spotlight. I'm your host, Tyler Gates, here to bring you some positivity by talking to those in town, making big strides for the greater good. Today I'm really fortunate to have with me Camille Shimatero, Community Sales Director of Country Club Heights, and Ashley Tebow, Wellspring Village Director. Did I get that right?
You did!
Close enough at least, you'll forgive me for
Yes.
today. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me fumble through the intro.
Oh, thank you for having us.
So Camille and Ashley, it's really good to have you here.
Thank you. We appreciate being here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk a little bit about Brightview today, but I think we're actually going to spend some time and maybe a little bit more time on Wellsprings Village and the memory care part of the facility that you guys have. So
Perfect.
But before we dive right in, do you mind just telling us a little bit about you and what brought you to Brightview or Wellsprings?
Sure.
Yeah. I'll go first if you want.
Absolutely.
I actually have been working with seniors for over 20 years in many different capacities. Some home senior services, social services, hospitals, home, I think I already said home, rehab centers, and more recently assisted living, senior living. And Brightview, as we'll talk about, both of us will talk about, is a special place. So we'll get to that after Ashley tells us her special stuff.
Absolutely. So I've been working with this population. I've been working with dementia and Alzheimer's for close to 7 years now. I started right out of college and fell in love with it and kind of never left. Brightview, I mean, just the moment I walked through the door, there was just something special about it, so I don't regret it.
That's great to hear, and I know I've gotten to know you both a bit over the last couple of years, and everybody I meet at Brightview is an amazing person for starters, and they believe in so much what you guys do. You can see it in the work that you guys do, and so I've really appreciated what you've done, because I know Alzheimer's affects my family and a lot of families out there.
It does.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, good. Do you mind sharing a little bit? Camille, why don't we start with you?
Sure.
Share us a little bit about Brightview, maybe your mission or what you guys are there to achieve.
Absolutely. You know, oftentimes seniors are, they think that senior living is kind of an end. And we talk about how it's actually a beginning, where they can tailor their plan and what they want their day-to-day, their quality day to look like. What I hear from families, they find our building refreshing because my background, social work, it's consultative, it's not, you know, their visit isn't about pressuring people. It's more talking to me about what they might be interested in, whether they're planning for now or for the future. And what's also fantastic is we offer a wide range of services. So some of our residents come to us for mainly social reasons. This time of year it gets dark, it's cold, there isn't as much to do, people feel isolated. And some of our residents like that. You know, nothing needs to change about their routine. They can come and go, they can drive, volunteer, work, but they love that they can dine with their friends. They don't have to worry about cleaning. They don't have to worry about the day-to-day things. They can just plan their day. You know, they're ready to give up on worrying about repairs, home, leaves, etc. Those things that, you know, they like that we have this available for when and if they're ready. Some seniors might need a little bit more. We also offer assisted living. So that circumstance where someone may come to us for social reasons is more independent living. Assisted living would be more direct care, personal care, medicine management, nursing staff, you know, 24-hour check-ins if needed. But again, the person would design their plan with the nurse. So they can pick and choose what it is they still may want to do for themselves and what it is that they would like us to help them with. What's also nice is we can provide very light care and support to very heavy care and support and everything in between. And residents and families can choose their preferred apartment, and then we can help them with what they're thinking might be the best actual plan, service plan. If someone's needs revolve more around their cognitive loss, and they might need very specialized care and support and services, that would be where our wonderful Wellspring Village neighborhood may be the best fit. And of course, we help families determine that. We consult with them, we talk to them, because sometimes that's also something, a misconceived notion that it's a place where it's nursing home-like or sad, or, and again, people are very relieved to see how vibrant and active and social and wonderful our memory care neighborhood is. And I'll on that note, send along to Ashley here, who really knows more about the day-to-day of Wellspring Village neighborhood. So.
Yeah, so like Camille said, a lot of people do visualize memory care as a bunch of wheelchairs in a hallway and that's it, which is very untrue for Wellspring Village. We bring the outside inside. So what I mean is we have constant entertainers in, we have a structured fitness program by a certified trainer. We do van rides twice a week, and that could be anything from ice cream, going to an equestrian farm, all the way to apple picking during the fall. I mean, we really try to give as much to our residents as we absolutely can. A regular day on Wellspring Village would be one of our resident assistants walking in, helping our residents get ready for the day, bringing them down to breakfast. We do a fine dining experience for all 3 of our meals, just like we would in our assisted living dining room. It is, because just because there's memory impairment doesn't mean that they don't enjoy those types of things, and we want them to feel comfortable and happy and safe. So the fine dining really adds just a small aspect to that. After that, we have structured activities with trained activity assistants. And again, it really just depends on the day, but we're always doing physical as well as cognitive activities throughout the day. And we do try to structure all of our activities to include a whole group, but there are times where we'll individualize groups as well. Somebody who may need a little bit more assistance will have a separate group, versus somebody who's a little more independent will have another group in a different room for them as well.
Okay. So I know you're talking a lot about some of the activities that you do. Do you mind diving into like a day in the life with some of those day-to-day activities that you guys are providing? I know you mentioned some of the rides weekly and things like that, but what are you guys doing on a daily basis in some of those groups?
Bingo. Bingo is
that's fun.
It's a hot commodity at Wellspring Village. We do a lot of singing groups. Music, Mind in Music is one of our big focuses at Brightview. And Mind in Music really just focuses on each person's individualized musical tastes. That way, if they're kind of having a bad day or anything like that, we have a playlist for them that we can play for them, and hopefully it'll kind of lift their spirits a little bit. Also, we'll make a big group playlist and we'll kind of all listen to the music together, and songs that people haven't heard in years will kind of light up their eyes, and they're starting to sing along, and it's one of my favorite programs at Brightview. But along with music, we do a lot of art with them as well. And then, like I said, there's a lot of physical activities, anywhere from
ping pong tournament.
We
One
did.
of our residents he's like Forrest Gump.
Yep.
He beats us.
We had all the directors
awesome.
were invited upstairs, and we did a ping pong tournament, and
that's
he
cool.
took every director down.
It was fantastic.
That is awesome.
Yep.
It's a
It's the
sight
cool
to
stories
see.
like that, right?
Yeah, that was a really fun day.
Oh yeah. And our directors get
Anytime
involved.
you want to come and play ping pong.
Oh,
I
there
don't
you
want to
go.
get embarrassed.
Oh,
It sounds like that sounds like I'd be taken down quickly.
But out of the box, just fun. It's nice to see. I always tell people I love our community. I love all of our residents. I especially love going up to our Wellspring Village. Just they always find a way to make someone smile. They have just the right way about them to bring out the best in everyone.
Yep.
And sometimes those residents do have better days than others, or a certain time of the day is challenging. And the TLC that's provided is just wonderful to see, for sure.
Yeah, one thing that we strive for is a family atmosphere. So any associate who works for me in Wellspring Village, our goal is that you'll treat them the way that you would treat your own family. When you come in, we want you to be happy and excited to see our residents. We want you to be able to celebrate with them and be with them in the moment, because without that, you're just there for a job, and we're not a to-do list. We're much more than that. Like I said, it's a family.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way to describe it.
I think you described it perfectly, because when you walk in, you feel that. I mean, I'm an outsider. When I walk in, you absolutely see that. That's what I was saying about the staff earlier, and the team there, I think is a better word for it, because you guys just, you wear it on your sleeve. You'll love the residents, and you can tell that you care for them with everything that you got. So, and I will agree, I saw the facility, and it's not just a hallway of wheelchairs. It's beautiful, it's open, it's light, people were sitting around the tables and talking. It was a really, really wonderful environment. So I just wanted to give you kudos and reiterate that as well.
Thank you.
Good to hear.
Camille, let's talk about some of the day things that you're doing, because I'm sure they differ a little bit, especially in size and scope of what you do.
Sure. Where we're set back, we have the best of both worlds, but we often hear from people, I didn't really know what this building was, and I didn't know this was here. So it's lovely that we're set back. We have beautiful golf course views. The community's been all newly renovated. So a lot of people from Woburn may know that building's been there for a long time, but are surprised to see the changes. So people are welcome anytime. We do offer complimentary meals, complimentary tours, and again, very laid back. Sometimes people just want to kind of take a quick look, have a brochure. Other times they want a more comprehensive tour, more comprehensive information, and we're happy to provide that. And then I often chat with people about what's most important to them. So if it's meals, then our dining service director is happy to meet with them, talk to them, answer questions. If it's clinical questions, nursing questions, nurse director can sit, chat with family. Ashley's been wonderful about if it's a memory care situation, or if someone has some memory loss and they may not be looking to memory care initially or right away, but they might want some more information just in case for the future, and so we're able to provide that. We have a wonderful, we talked a little bit about Brightview as a company. I think we were kind of touching on the fact that the community, all of our associates feel very supported, trained. They do a wonderful job. It's very family focused, very senior focused, resident focused, as well as associate focused. They treat you very well. I think they wait and hire just the right people, which I think is important when working with seniors. And so I find that very refreshing about Brightview in general. And our building, we're a little biased. We like our building, of course. There's just something special, something intangible, something hard to put in words about Country Club Heights specifically. But it's nice to hear as people walk through the door, they feel warm, welcome right away, a positive energy, etc. And so when I think of Brightview Country Club Heights, that's what comes to mind for me. Is I look forward to pulling up to the building every day, all the exciting stuff. I try to make some time, even though the event planning and sales and other sorts of things take a lot of my time. I really try to make time to sit with the residents, see how they're doing, making sure, of course, new residents are acclimating and have all they need, of course. And to see our residents just having fun, loving life, etc.
So I know you guys get them engaged in a variety of ways, right? And one of the ones that I was drawn into recently that you were talking about was, I might get the name wrong, Memory Cafe? Is that the program we talked about recently?
The Memory Cafe that we hold is the third Thursday of every month, and it's from 9:30 to 11 o'clock. And what that is it's caregiver as well as the person living with dementia focused. So a lot of people who are caring for a loved one who has dementia or Alzheimer's, they don't feel like they can get out of the house. People don't understand their behaviors. People don't understand why they're not speaking, why they may not be paying attention while somebody's talking to them. At a Memory Cafe, all of that is left at the door. Everyone there knows that everyone has some sort of memory impairment. So I would facilitate it, and the first half hours, just kind of like a mix and mingle. We have a light continental breakfast, coffee, of course. We know that that's a key factor. And then the hour, so from 10 to 11, we have some sort of engaging activity. So it's not just a musician who goes up there, sings a few songs, and calls it a day. These are actually people who will get group participation. And it could be music where they'll talk about different music or sing different songs. We've had, this coming month, we have Art Matters. They're coming in and they're doing a whole Norman Rockwell presentation. And they work with dementia all the time. So these are people who are trained and know how to speak to people and get them involved and engaged. So the Memory Cafe is really just an outreach to the community to say, you know what, you've done so much as a caregiver, now's your time to come, relax, and enjoy being with your loved one, and leave the caregiver status at the door.
So that's open to the community, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So that if somebody, because I know from just personally and in my family, talking or approaching this subject may be tough, right? It's just some people don't want to think about it, even though it's the reality of life. And for somebody that is trying to get more information, that might be a good place for them to start. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Are there any other events that you guys do throughout the year that you've done in the past that would be other good opportunities for a loved one or a family member over the holidays or something to get more engaged and learn more?
Absolutely. We offer, we do open houses often. Sometimes the opportunity just presents itself. So people sometimes feel they have to make an appointment, and you really don't. Like sometimes you're out, you're shopping, you have a moment, and you want to drop in, and that's perfectly fine.
know.
And so people can feel that, or maybe just giving a call, ask some questions. That's anytime at all. The events coming up, we have lovely holiday parties, and usually what people will do is they'll ask to be on the list where they can receive invites to different events, and if they're free, fantastic, they don't have to feel obligated at all. And we love to stay connected with people, but certainly not, I ask those that are on our list, how would you like me to stay in touch with you? Sometimes people worry they're going to be inundated with calls or badgered, and that's not the case at all. I send them invites, I reach out to them every so often, and then when and if they're ready for a little more interaction or more information, then that can change. So.
And one other community outreach that we're starting is called the Purple Table Reservation, and that was started by the Alzheimer's Association. And what that means is people from the community, again, people who are caregiving who can't take their loved one out to a restaurant, what it means is that they can call us, make a reservation, and within our assisted living dining room, we have a specific table set up. The servers who are there are trained in the Purple Table as well as dementia care, and they're able to give them a fine dining experience while knowing and understanding the person's needs. So like I had touched base earlier, some people can't verbally express what they need. These people are trained to maybe take out 2 plated options, bring it to them, and then they can point to whichever one they want. We'd have a limited menu for them, so then that way they're not overwhelmed with so many options. And then we're also there just to make sure that the caregiver's okay, and if they're starting to get a little tense because their loved one maybe exhibiting some behaviors, they can kind of talk to the caregiver and say, you know what, everything's okay. We see this, we understand this, and the night's going to be okay.
I really love that.
So they can have a nice evening without having to worry about it. It's failure-free, essentially.
Exactly.
And so that they can bring their loved one out for a nice meal.
That is so nice, because I'm sure it becomes tough at times to do the normal activities that you've done once upon a time with your loved ones. Right?
It absolutely is. And for a lot of people, going out to dinner once a week, every other week, that was a big part of their lives.
Oh, absolutely.
And sometimes it
Right.
abruptly stops. So this is allowing them to get that back again and get their loved one back again. We're big on letting the caregiver finally become that daughter again, the son again, the spouse again. So then that way they're not constantly worrying about their loved one. They can kind of put that on somebody else for a little while.
Wow, yeah, I think back to all the ways it's affected my life and my friends' lives and their families' lives, and I just think it's so valuable to have a resource like you on the other end of the phone to at least pick up and tell them you're not alone, right? That's the biggest thing is people feel so alone, I feel like, in this world. And
Absolutely.
they're not.
Yeah.
Any holiday parties on the books right now? We may not know dates, but we can revisit that as well. I just wanted to follow up with that question.
We have some professional events coming up for families. What I tend to do is give them our calendar.
Okay.
And I think seniors really like that. They can come and see what the social life is like.
Okay.
So our calendar has a really good mix of health and wellness, entertainment, hands-on type things, arts and crafts, presentations, trips. And so, again, depending on the individual and what they might like to see or what they might like to experience, we do invite them to join us. One gentleman came this morning for Tai Chi.
Really?
He's very interested in seeing what the day-to-day is like. He already has an apartment that he prefers, and the last piece of the puzzle was, and he came for a fine dining experience, and the last piece of the puzzle was to see what the social experience was like, and he did enjoy that. And so it's always open, especially the holidays. They decorate, it's lovely, and we offer a little bit more of the social atmosphere, partying, entertainment, other sorts of things. And so people are welcome to join us for sure.
And it's always changing, so people can always give us a call too, and we'd be more than happy to let them know what we have available.
We also, I forgot to mention, offer a short-term stay. It can either be for a trial stay. Sometimes people, even though we've talked to them, they've toured, they're just not quite sure, or they want to really know what it's like to live with us before deciding on a long-term basis.
Okay.
We do offer that. And then also some people will come to us post-medical, where they've unfortunately had a medical event. They're not themselves, they need a little bit more than usual, and so they might come to us from hospital or from rehab, either to feel better, get better, maybe adapt their home, have a little more time to plan, where insurances aren't covering as much, or hospital stays look a little bit different than maybe before. And then they can decide, they have time to decide, am I ready to go home? Sometimes they come for a short-term stay and they like it very much and stay, but they like that they have that option to decide. So we offer that. Even in memory care, we do have an option where someone may come to us either for a respite stay. We had a situation where a caregiver had to go in for surgery and wanted to make sure their loved one with dementia was safe and cared for, and it was a wonderful experience for both of them, which was nice to hear. But we offer that in Wellspring Village as well.
So the holidays are coming up. People are going to be visiting their loved ones. I assume that's a time of year where, maybe it's been 6 months since you saw mom or dad, or maybe a brother or sister, and maybe they're starting to repeat themselves or do things that they may have not done in the past. Are there things families can be aware of this fall in the holiday season? Things they can be looking for, questions to be asking, and just anything in general for loved ones this fall to be aware of?
Absolutely.
It's one of the harder questions to answer.
It's got to be a challenge.
I would say major forgetfulness, your normal forgetfulness, where did I put my keys,
That's
type
fair.
of thing is
That's fair.
one thing. Leaving the stove on, not dressing appropriately for the season,
Okay.
having the air conditioner on versus the heat, or having the heat all the way up to 90 degrees. Those are signs where something could be going on. I'm not saying necessarily memory loss, but
Right.
it's definitely something to look into.
Okay.
A lot of people will start deflecting and kind of turn things into a joke if they forget their words. Again, there's a big difference between normal forgetfulness versus memory loss. So I just want to
I know
put
there's
that
a
out
fine
there.
line, right? It's
Yeah.
a case by case in every basis.
Absolutely.
But I wasn't sure how to ask the question, but I think you answered it perfectly. As some of those things to keep in mind, or
Keep an eye on
at
it.
least keep
Yep.
an eye on over
Absolutely.
the holiday season.
And if people have questions, again, we have our phone number out there. I always tell people, even forget Brightview, if you need just a resource, I have no problem with that, because until you're going through this, you don't know what's out there. You don't know how to deal with it. And then everything just gets thrown at you at the same time. So I have no problem speaking with anybody. I've done it before. People have called me up. People have asked, can I just stop in? I have a few questions, and I'm always more than welcome to do that for people as well.
What is the best way to get a hold of you? Why don't we segue right into that?
I would say your phone number.
Phone number?
Phone
Yeah,
number?
it's our main line is 781-935-4094.
Okay.
And that reaches our concierge, and she can direct the call to Ashley or myself.
Wonderful.
And that
I'm
can
sure
be anytime.
Morgan will take good care of you, right?
Yes, Morgan
Yes,
will
she
take
will.
good care of you.
Popping occasionally just to say hello. Well, good. Well, I know we're getting closer to our end of our time together, but I really just want to give you the floor for a moment. Feel free to speak to the viewers and leave them with whatever thoughts that you guys have about Brightview, Wellspring, or just anything around the holiday time.
Sure. As Ashley touched on, we just hope that people realize in the community that we're a resource. And I have directed people, sometimes it's home services that make more sense. Sometimes it's other sorts of things. But I was happy that they reached out and met with me. It's a 7-day-a-week consultation, so people can reach us. There's always someone, whether it's myself, Ashley, other managers. We'd love to help answer your questions. You know, we help families and seniors way before maybe they're ready or they think they're ready. And then we also help families in crisis, that the unexpected happens, and you know, they really do need help and guidance and support. And so we would just encourage people to reach out to us.
That's exactly what I would have said.
Echo it. Yeah, I was going to say that was pretty well put. I don't know how you could follow that up. All right. But thank you both so much for coming on the show today. And Camille, Ashley, it's been a pleasure. Anytime that you guys want to come on, talk about a big event that you're having.
Perfect.
We'd love to have you guys stay involved in the Woburn community, because I know personally that you guys are a huge resource for us here. So
One big event we forgot to mention, 5th year anniversary for Wellspring Village. So
That's
that will be in
huge.
January. Yeah.
So
yeah.
we'll be talking a little bit more about that. Maybe
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
we'll have
yeah.
a party. Put on the
Perfect.
party
It'll
hats
be a
and
big
streamers,
party.
huh? Well, good. That's exciting, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you threw that in there. right
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end.
We'll have more information too.
Yes.
Yeah,
To
more
be-
info to
Yes.
follow.
We're just
TBD.
getting everything together now, so.
But that'll be an
closer to the
exciting
date,
time.
absolutely.
But it'll be very exciting, yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for coming on today. I'm glad
Thank
that we
you
could
for
share your
having us.
message a little bit more.
Thank you, Tyler.
Absolutely. And thank you all for watching today's show. I'm your host, Tyler Gates. Join us again next time for another episode of the Woburn Spotlight.